Yo, this is Tommy with the Hungry Millennial vlog, day 3. I have yet to upload day 2 yet. I'm currently working on a way to spice up my introduction a little bit, working with some like 3D graphics on Blender. So that's in the works. Today my day started at around 5 a.m. I woke up at O'Hare Airport, and then I probably didn't get my first Uber ride till like 7 or something like that. So in the meantime, I spent my time trying to figure out how to like program videos, trying to learn videography. I feel like the best way to market for yourself is to actually market for yourself and figure it out that way. So I'm trying to like dive into trying to figure out video and audio and stuff like that, so that way I can do free marketing more for myself. Today with on-the-spot detailing, I actually got to detail a lady vacuum out her car. She was extremely grateful. She left a message on my Facebook page about how I was kind of her savior, because she's also an Uber driver, and she didn't want to, continue driving with her car as messy as it was. By the way, my Facebook page is On the Spot Interiors. That is On the Spot Interiors. Catch me on Instagram at On the Spot Guy. Get your daily dose of motivation there. Right now I'm currently in the south side of Chicago, out near Cicero, Ubering. And so today I wanted to talk about adapting. As a millennial, we're gonna experience a bunch of different types of changes and things like that. But the biggest thing that you can, do is adapt to the changes that, that you're going through, right? So instead of whining and complaining, try not to waste that time on whining and complaining and actually do something about it, right? It doesn't matter. We live in a country where it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your level of finances, it doesn't matter your level of talent, that opportunity is there. And honestly, when it comes to excuses, people really don't care about your excuses. Your mom, your dad might care, they might say they care, but they really don't. So the biggest thing that you can do for yourself and for your future is to adapt to the changes that happen in your life, right? Today I wanted to Uber a little bit longer during the daytime, right? So I can make, my money that I normally make, right? But at the same time, what ended up happening is me learning the videos and, how to, really twist that up, which is a sacrifice that I have to make. It took longer than normal. So, now I'm out, it's 11:30 and I'm still hustling to make my money. It's not, the ideal situation, but I'm out here grinding, I'm out here getting it, because nobody's gonna give it to me. That's one of those things that you gotta learn in life is, it doesn't matter, nobody's there, nobody's, gonna give you a handout all the time, right? It might seem sweet right now, but eventually it gets to the point where, I'm at a point in my life where, it's either, make it or don't, right? So that's why I hustle the way that I hustle. It sucks at times, right? I'm like, there are times where, it's Chicagoland, so there are times where you may not be able to use a bathroom when you want to use a bathroom, right? Or, etc., because there just aren't any restrooms in Chicago ever. Like, Chicago freaking sucks because of that. That's probably my biggest complaint of today. But on the bright side, for the most part, I've noticed the nicer I am, the more courteous I am to riders, the more tips that I receive. You know, it could be as small as, you know, earlier I had a couple passengers with bags. So, you know, I took those bags, I lifted them up, and I put them on the curb. But when I put them on the curb, I also picked the kickstand up, or the handle up, so that way they could, you know, like walk off and, you know, continue on their path. So sometimes it's the small things like that that really make a difference in people's lives. Ultimately, you know, today was a fairly good day. I got the vibe with some very important, you know, some people who, you know, they didn't look like they had a lot, but they had a lot to say, right? So, you know, in the end, what it really came down to, you know, I had a gentleman get in my car, and, you know, he was talking about, you know, struggles in life and things like that. And he said no matter what his day looked like, he was always willing to help somebody else out, right? So having that, you know, that humbleness to understand that there's always somebody in a worse situation than you are, sometimes, you know, really help you get through the day, right? So, you know, one of the things that I've really learned about, like, adapting is, you know, sometimes you don't understand, you know, a situation, and you might not understand that situation until you change your mindset. What I've learned a lot about corporate America is, like, a lot of people, you know, they'll adapt a little bit, they'll change a little bit, but sometimes, like, you never know when, you know, adapting a little bit isn't gonna work for you anymore, right? So, you know, sometimes it's better to just go all in, you know. And, you know, it's like, you know, when, like, I was playing football, hold on a second. Like, you know, when I was playing football in high school, you know, like, we were all in, you know, when it came to football or whatever. But, you know, a lot of us didn't realize that college and life was going to hit us, you know, like a ton of bricks, right? We weren't really all in on school, right? So, and a lot of, you know, my peers, you know, they went to college, they didn't like college, they joined the military, they dropped out, you know, they got out of the military early, right? But, you know, being able to, you know, find that adaptation and that ability to adapt to struggles in life will change things for you. You know, it's like, you know, I noticed that, like, depending on other people in Chicagoland really wasn't working out. It didn't work out for me or them because I felt like I was putting them at an inconvenience. So, you know, I had to adapt, you know. Is sleeping in my car something I want to do? No, but it's one of those things where if I adapt to it now, and just embrace the change, I've noticed when I embrace the change, it changes things, right? You know, throughout my life, I've had different struggles, right? So when I worked for the sub shop I used to work for, we used to have these competitions, right? They were called before and afters. You take something dirty, you make it clean, right? So somebody, you know, they was always doing, you know, they would do 20 of them per period, right? And they would always sweep the competition. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 20, right? So, and then I was doing 20, but I was losing. And then all of a sudden, I decided that, you know, I was gonna commence beast mode, right? So I started doing 40, right? And then, you know, my last period of being a training manager for said company, I ended up doing 80. But when I left to leave with the military, I had set it up to a point where, you know, I was, you know, just annihilating the competition. It was literally sending checks to my bank account. But all it took was a mindset to adapt to that change that was happening and to adapt to my circumstance and not complain about it. I noticed when I stopped complaining, that's when I started succeeding. So, you know, my biggest thing for you guys, you know, on day 3, you know, my biggest thing is adapt to the change, learn, take it as a learning experience. Even if you fail, don't give up. Keep grinding, keep hustling, keep doing what you're doing, keep exerting that effort. Never give up. But sometimes you just have to adapt and change the way that you look at things, right? Once you start adapting and change the way you look at life will start to flow your way. I've noticed the harder I work, the more luck I have. Anyway, this is Tommy on the Hungry Millennial vlog. Like, share, subscribe. Check out my Instagram at On The Spot Guy. as well as check out my my YouTube page. You know, the Hungry Millennial, right? Time me out.